Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. And I hope that you're enjoying the Black and White Together project. I'm Professor Norgard, and as an ambassador for International Bead Week, I'm initiating an international project titled Black and White Together. You can hear more about us by listening to my introduction video, session 1 and 2 videos, and companion videos for sessions 1 and 2. Thank you for joining us today to see what the Black and White Together project team has been up to. This is session 3. Today we learn our dots pattern. We'll view these on Professor Dawn Peterson's graphic diagrams and on Carol Garrity's word charts. They are pattern numbers 2 and 7. I'm now going to share my screen. This will just take a second. So let's get started on session 3. If you're not familiar with warped squares and need a more complete introduction, please watch our session 1, where I discuss the form and carefully review Julia Prettle's animation. Big thank you to Julia. Once you learn the form, I'm sure you will find it very easy to create our patterns. For an overview of the patterns, Professor Dawn Peterson has created diagrams. We're learning patterns 2 and 7 today. Here's an overview of those patterns that Dawn has created. Pattern 2 starts with white and pattern 7 starts with black. You are having a value lesson. Value is a design element. Value refers to the lightness or darkness of a color. Pattern 7 has more black beads and will, therefore, appear darker. Pattern 2 has more white beads and will appear lighter. If you work with me in the future, you will learn about exploring value as a property or quality of color. Here are individual diagrams for number 2 and 7. Pattern 2 starts with white. You can see those 4 beads in the center being drawn together. And then the second round is 2 white beads in the corners. 2 white bead in each of the corners. And then the third row is where you start to invite the placement of the black polka dots. Here's pattern 7. And you're just switching what was black will now be white, and what was white in the previous warp square will now be black. Beater Carol Garrity has created word charts for those that prefer to learn that way. Remember, you can just stop or pause the video and use either the diagrams from Dawn or the word charts from Carol to help you get through the pattern making and create the warp squares. This is warp square 2, and now we'll move on to the word chart for warp square 7. Each round is laid out for you, and I'm sure you'll find this easy and enjoyable to follow. Again, feel free to pause this video to use the diagrams or word charts to help you through the pattern. Where to mail your warp squares? Mail them to us at IBW Black and White Together Project, 74 Baroni Lane, Hilton Head, South Carolina, 29928, USA. Include the maker's name, email address, and country of origin. We'd like to be able to represent everybody when we document this work. If you have questions, we've created a special email, and it's right here, beatercarol@gmail.com. Now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and show you my larger model and just go over a few things with you. Okay. Just a quick review of the supplies. You're using black and white Delica size 11. You can use them in any finish. You can even combine finishes if you like. In terms of thread, you can use the thread of your choice, and about 1.5 yards will get you through an entire warp square. If you could, we would like you to weave in your ends, your thread ends. It'll make it a little bit easier for us to manage the number of squares we hope to get. Here on the board, I've laid out the series so that you can see all 8 of them here. You could also do a 9 and 10 by doing a solid white and a solid black. I'm going to just bring this up to the screen so you can look at how that value works, that distribution of the percentage mix of white to black creates a value scale for us to work with. All right, I'm also going to show you a work in process. This is using the larger plastic beads so that you can more easily see the pattern and how it starts to look like a polka dot pattern. I have the 2 previous ones that I did, and I almost think if I turn them this way, you can see value is often best seen if you squint a little bit. So if you squint, you can see this going from lighter to darker until eventually we will do an all black. Right, I thought I would just bead from here and forward a little bit. And what I was doing with this pattern is when I was stepping up and doing the next row, I would look back and see if my last row had, in this situation, the white polka dots in it. The white is placed every other bead in that previous row. And what that tells me is that I can just bead forward with all black beads for this row. And that's really it. I think that everybody's doing really well. I've been hearing from some people through email and through Facebook. Please feel free to shout out to me. And remember, we have control over what we've taught you, but you have control over how many warp squares we get. And that will be your contribution to what we will be making in the end. So send us lots. We want a really big challenge. Okay, I think that's it for now. Bye.